Thoughtless, casual gaming. Thoughtless, casual gaming. Thoughtless, casual gaming. Thoughtless, casual gaming.
Hello, you're listening to Thoughtless Casual Gaming with Brett and Jace. We are a Geelong-based gaming podcast where we play games badly and then talk badly about them, and you listen to us talk badly.
I probably listen badly too, if I'm honest.
Well, that was where I was going, but I don't know if the words made any sense at all.
No.
Anyway, this episode we have a special guest.
Which makes it 1,000 times better than your usual episodes.
Exactly. That's the only reason we do the guests, so that we have actual quality content. Quality. Yeah. Better than nothing, anyway. This episode, we are joined by Mitch.
G'day.
Now, Mitch, you've been on the cast before.
I have been on a while ago now.
Yeah. It's been a while. For anyone that might not have listened to that episode, which is probably
everyone,
most people, for the benefit of those who are listening to this episode, which is no one, why don't you explain yourself?
Well, as far as podcasting goes, you might know me from the Geek Dudes podcast or Hey It's the Podcast, which Hey It's the Podcast is a look back at episodes of Hey It's Saturday, the classic Australian show, the cultural high point of Australian television. And also the Geek Dudes podcast is Not Safe for Anywhere, where we talk life, love, and geeky things. So, that is where you will find me on the internet. That will be the person you will look for, Dirty Uncle Mitch, on either of those podcasts.
And you've been podcasting for a while now.
Yeah, I feel old. Like, my kids look at me and they go, podcasting? Why not YouTube? It's like, I'm not pretty enough for YouTube. But yeah, it seems to be an old man's game now. But people even put podcasts onto YouTube with no images. So it's just like, because they just don't do it. Yeah.
Well, that's the way. It's just easy. I mean, I could record the video, but no one wants to see that.
Exactly. I've got to shave. I've got to shower. Put on
pants. Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, we've definitely got faces for radio, so it works out better that way, I suppose.
Yep.
So, Hey, it's a podcast. Geek Dudes, Massive Attack podcast.
We're talking a long time ago. Yes, Massive Attack. That was essentially more of the same. But it was a long time ago. I've been doing it a long time. No one listened. It was fine. It was fun. I caught up with friends and we talked. So, yeah.
This is why we do it, right? It's not actually about informing or stimulating the minds of the listeners. I just want to chat to peeps.
Yeah, total self-interest, yeah. So, Geek Dudes is its own entity, let's say. It is...
I can't recommend it. Because if I do, I apologise beforehand. It is, like I said, not safe for anywhere. It gets very blue. And it's not every episode is different from time to time, because we go on very strange tangents.
Yes,
and it gets deep, it gets dark, it gets loose. If that sounds appealing, go for it, but I apologise beforehand and I don't recommend it.
Sounds like a number of my exes.
Well, we thought we'd make you feel comfortable, and we know you're not a war gamer per se, let's say. So
let's just say yet.
There's always time. The first one's free. So let's talk stuff that you guys sort of talk about on Geek Dudes a lot. Let's talk TV.
Okay.
It's been a while since we've done an episode based on what we've been watching and shit like that. So who wants to lead us off? What's anybody been watching?
I finished Reacher, which just finished a couple of weeks ago. I don't know if you've watched any of that.
Season 3?
Yes.
Yeah. No, I've watched season 1. I enjoyed season 1, but I haven't found time to go any further.
Yeah, it's so funny because I know the books were a big deal. And then I remember when they made the Tom Cruise movie, I remember the derision because he was too short. Because if you read the books, he's meant to be a giant. He's meant to be this. He's meant to be that. So I had no point of reference, and I never bothered with the movies. And then I watched season 1 of the TV show, and that dude's a big unit, and it's so weird to think.
This is the dude that plays Hawk in.
Yes,
Titans?
that's the one.
Yes, great.
Yes, and I mean they make him look bigger than he is too. I think he's a big guy anyway, but they make him even bigger. And I was expecting this really grounded, really cleverly written, amazing show. And then I realized, no, it's just dumb fun. And I was totally in. Once I realized it was that, I was waiting for a turn, but no, it wasn't there. But it's like, no, it's Batman, basically. He's the best person in the world. He just doesn't have a cape. That's the only difference.
And he punches people a lot, doesn't he?
A lot. Really hard. And yeah, so it was stupid, dumb fun, and I love it. He's the smartest guy in the room. He's the strongest guy in the room, and there's no character development whatsoever. The dude who walks into town in the first episode is exactly the same guy who leaves town.
Why didn't they, when they kind of started promoting this and advertising it, why didn't they just say Batman without a costume punches dudes? That's what I needed.
This is the guy that a lot of people are wanting for Batman too, isn't it?
Including him. He would love to do it. Yeah.
He's halfway there already.
Pretty much. But it's funny because he was in a movie, the Guy Ritchie movie, the what is it, Ungentlemanly Warfare movie with Henry Cavill. And he made Henry Cavill look small. It was ridiculous. But yes, I can recommend Reacher for dumb fun. Like, it's not clever, it's just dumb.
Season 3 ended well. Good watch.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of 2. Like, it's 10 episodes, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, 3 I improved over. I think 3 was improvement on 2.
Yep.
I'm now intrigued. It's one of those ones I kind of looked and went, oh, I feel like it's going to try and be clever and it's going to try and be things. I'm not here for clever. I want to turn the brain off. I just want to, all right, I'm on.
Yeah, you can definitely turn your brain off. You're fine.
This is great. I mean, that's almost no change, but all right.
That's on Amazon, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, cool. Oh, Jace, do you have anything you've been watching?
Speaking of dumb fun, and this is a complete tangential, left-hand turn from this, right? And I don't know how I found it because I am fundamentally against most Australian comedians. Just on principle, most of them are trash. However, I started watching. It's a New Zealand comedian hosting an Australian show called Guy Montgomery's Guy Mont Spelling Bee. And it is what it says on the tin. It is a New Zealand comedian hosting a spelling bee with Australian comedians as the contestants.
Okay.
And for someone who does not like Australian comedians as a general rule, I giggled in every single episode. And turns out I'm not very good at spelling. I watched a season of that in a couple of nights, just in between doing shit because they're short episodes. It's ABC. No one's getting paid for anything. And it was really important things like the grand prize each episode is an oversized novelty check with an appearance on the next episode as the prize. That's it. It is proper low budget trash. They drag in it. It is the usual cast of all of the people you see on every goddamn comedy series, and for some reason, hosted by a Kiwi dude, it's funnier.
Okay.
I don't know.
Was it just a straightforward spelling bee?
It starts off with that, and then the way this plays out is that, he says, you can ask for a definition or I'll use it in a sentence and stuff like that. And those are often, someone will say, can I get a definition of a thing? And his response, which is clearly pre-prepared, and that's part of the joy of it, but that's the bit that's great. And then it goes from, let's just do a spelling thing, and then they start doing, okay, we're going to give you, one of them was on currency, and they had a whole bunch of different money on a board, and they had to pick it. And some people had to spell cent, and some people had to spell establishment, or, it was one way or the other. It gets more and more ridiculous kind of as the episodes get on. It gets less and less hard spelling, and then he just does like a quick fire spelling round at the end. And for some reason, it was fucking hilarious.
Perfect.
So sort of like spell the word establishment. Oh, can you use it in a sentence? Yes, I've just asked you to spell the word establishment.
There's a bit of that. Yeah. There's a little bit of, can you spell the word Oz, or can you use the word Oz in a sentence, or can you give me the origin of the word Oz? And he would say magic. It was something like this. It would just be like, this kind of garbage. And it was, for some reason, amazingly funny and giggle worthy. Like, it's not full belly laugh, but it was one of those ones that you watch, you get a good couple of giggles every single episode. And while you're waiting for dinner to cook or something, it's just a nice little on in the background half-hour joy.
Sounds perfect, because I love watching Letters and Numbers for years when it was on SBS,
Mm-hmm.
and then they brought in the 7 out of 8 out of 10
8 out of 10
countdown,
yes.
and that was my favorite show. When it was once a week, it was appointment TV for me. I would rush home from the gym to watch it, and we had a friends group, and we were texting each other's answers. We were seeing who could get the numbers first. It was great. Then when it went to every day of the week,
8 out of 10 cats.
I'm
so bad at it, but yes, continue.
But yeah, so when it went to every night of the week, it became less special, but I'll still watch it. And I've seen all the episodes multiple times, but I still can't help myself. Joe Wilkinson is hilarious. But I just love that it's still a real game show at the start. At the core of it, it's still real, and they still play it. But it's the talent of the people that they get on there.
And this is it. It's all that. So it's that kind of vibe, but it's just trash. Amusing trash. I watched a whole season of it without thinking, and I went, where the fuck did this come from? But anyway. And then I went back and watched it because it's originally a Kiwi show. And so I went back and started watching the New Zealand episodes. And I don't know. It wasn't quite the same. I don't know why.
Much Kiwi.
I just, one Kiwi hosting, and the rest of them, that was okay. Any more than that, too much. Take it back.
Sounds like the sort of thing. Like what I need is shows that I can stick on in the background. Give it a Friday during the day. I'm trying to get the house in order or whatever. I need something on the TV to distract me, but I'm also not paying a huge amount of attention to it. That sounds like one of those.
It's very good for that.
I mean, what I've been doing in the past is rewatching stuff that I've seen multiple times and that are my favorites. So things like, Battlestar Galactica, Band of Brothers, Rome, those have been the ones I've been churning through recently because I can stick them on in the background. Yeah? Well, yeah, but I can stick that stuff on in the background, and I know I've seen it enough times. I know what it's like, and so I can tune in when I want to tune in, and when I don't need to tune in, I can be doing the dishes or painting or whatever the hell I'm doing at the time.
Shake your fist at Bolter. Oh, yes. That guy.
Oh, I love him. He's so cool. Battlestar's one that I'll go back and I'll watch every couple of years. So every 2 or 3 years, I've got them all on Blu-ray. I need that in my life. I've been watching.
You guys watch?
Go on. No.
Did you guys watch Daredevil?
I literally finished it last night.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I'm so marveled out.
I understand.
Yeah, there's just been so much recently that I just I haven't had the interest in it. And I enjoyed the first season of Daredevil on Netflix way back when,
Mm-hmm.
but I never actually bothered following it up with season 2 or anything like that. So,
Yeah, I made it to season 2 and gave up as well.
mhm.
It was just too bleak, I think. I don't know what it was, but something about Marvel in my head should be fun, and at the time, and then they
Yep.
came out, and the first series was mind blowing in the violence and everything. It was quite good. The performances were good, but
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't fun. And I just sort of it felt not like a chore, but it was like work, and it was like, oh, I don't want that. And yeah, but Marvel itself has become a chore, like you're saying at the moment. I
Yeah,
only
I mean,
just watch. Here you go.
no, go. There's ones coming out I'm excited about, but I feel like there is so much saturation. And the problem I have with Marvel at the moment is it feels like if you don't watch something, because I don't want to watch a season of something, you actually miss key points in the greater Marvel universe. And like, oh fuck, now I have to go watch the thing because I've missed a thing and it relates to this and that and
Yep.
the big web. You've got to do the strings on the wall and the photos and
Yeah,
That's
which
the bit
isn't
of,
fun, is it?
no, it's too
And
hard.
I only
It's
just
homework.
watched Captain America, the most recent Captain America last week.
Mm.
And I'm on a show called Geek Dudes where we talk about news and current affairs. And we were watching all these movies, first night, and none of us had seen Captain America until I
It's,
saw it last week.
it,
So
it's
that's how fatigued we are with the Marvel stuff. And it just, like you said, it does feel you need to watch too much stuff now. They should be self-contained to a point where you can at least watch it.
the fact
Where
I have to watch What If, the animated rando series, to understand what the hell is going on in the cinematic universe is bonkers. Like, that is beyond.
Yeah,
It,
because a friend showed it. Like they took their kids to see
Mhm,
Captain America, and they hadn't seen Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
mhm.
So it's like, where's Captain America? I thought it was called Captain
oh
America. It's
no.
like, yeah, well, by the way, and it's like that's bad. If that
Mm.
happens, that's not good.
No.
It's too much. Where Thunderbolts, I'm really excited about, and I think
I'm so excited.
it's probably the cast that does it because it looks like fun. I mean, you're doing you've almost got your cosplay ready, Brett. You got the beard going. You just
Yes.
need the helmet.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah,
I,
so that I'm looking forward to. But again, it is a show that definitely everything is derived from the past for that one.
Mhm.
It won't make any sense unless you watch I think it's 3 things that lead up to this one. So yeah, there's reward for putting in the work, but sometimes it's a lot of work.
it
I,
is
I'm
work.
I'm hoping that Thunderbolts is relatively self-contained in that you will get extra benefit from having known everything, but actually it's going to be characters more than anything.
Yeah.
Like, that's my dream and my hope. It's probably also my dream and my hope with the new Fantastic Four.
Well, I mean, that's a brand new thing. So there's no baggage
Yeah,
except
they say that, but
previous movies.
it will be an
Well,
Earth,
yeah,
whichever
true.
version, right? So how do we pull a multiverse into that?
But it looks amazing so far. And they actually, did Galactus properly. Spoilers
Yes.
for anyone who hasn't seen the trailer. It's not a big
trailer.
cloud. It's like, no, it's a big dude with the toilet seat on his head. That's all you want. That's
Mhm.
what we want to see.
So
Because that's a beauty. Yeah, go on. Because the beauty of the Marvel movies or things like that is we haven't seen stuff like this before. When they brought out Iron Man, that was new. Captain America,
Mhm.
Thor, it was all new. Now it's the same because we're going back to those wells. So when they did Fantastic Four originally, it was, they kind of embarrassed about these sort of concepts. It's like, oh, we can't have a giant dude in a purple suit that eats planets. Make him a cloud just because we're asking too much already when we've got a dude made of rocks. It's like, no, you've got to go nuts. And that's what the beauty of James Gunn with the Guardians movies. No, it's a talking tree. Don't question it. We're just going.
Unapologetic, and it works because they're so unapologetic about it. I think it's
Exactly.
that piece where they're sort of going, "Oh, we're nervous. Is it going to be too much?" Nah, too much. But I love, Pedro Pascal can do no wrong. So frankly, it's going to be a good movie regardless. But I'm really enjoying the fact that they are leaning into those original comic style art, the costumes, like that kind of Jetsons vibe.
It looks beautiful and different, yeah.
And it is something completely different. It's not just because I think the other problem that we've had with a lot of the Marvel movies is they went from Captain America, one dude in Germany kind of deal, and it got
Mhm.
bigger and bigger, and now we're talking, we went, and now we're multiverse, and I can't follow half of it. So I'm really hoping that with some of these, they bring it back to, we're just saving the world. Just one. Just that's enough.
Going back to Thunderbolt, so I haven't really paid much attention because I haven't, marveled out. Like, for example, Daredevil, I was really excited when I saw Charlie Cox in Spider-Man, really excited when I saw him in She-Hulk. Still haven't watched the show, Thunderbolts, what are the characters? So there's Red Guardian, White Widow, Bucky, who else?
Ghost,
Yeah.
Taskmaster.
Yeah.
There is a secret. I'm not going to say it just in case people don't want to know, but there is another character.
Is there Yellow involved?
There is Yellow.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. I know the one. So that's the thing. I mean, so Bucky's been in everything.
A bunch. Yeah.
Red Guardian and White Widow were in Black Widow, as was Taskmaster, wasn't it?
Yes.
Ghost was in
Ant-Man.
Ant-Man.
No, that's right. Is there anyone from? No, see there I'm getting confused with the new Avengers.
And there's what's his name? Not
George.
Captain America. White Russell.
Oh yeah, John.
Yeah, yes. John Walker.
Yes. Yep.
US agent.
Thank you.
I'm assuming. Yeah.
Yeah.
So effectively,
that comes from Falcon Winter Soldier. Yeah.
Who, by all accounts, has apparently done an amazing job with the character in this one too. Like, all of the reviews I've read have said he's actually a standout. Which, given how just irritating of a human he was in Falcon and Winter Soldier, I'm actually impressed about.
Well, he's a good actor. His dad's got the best hair in Hollywood, so I'm a big Kurt Russell fan, like massive Kurt Russell fan. So.
I mean, but
you can do no wrong.
Every single one of those characters is from something else.
Correct. It's just whether that matters when they put the movie together.
Yeah, that's what worries me. I mean, I have seen all of that, but if I hadn't.
And you've still got this kind of Julia Louis-Dreyfus kind of character who's been bitsed everywhere and just kind of does all these weird kind of cameo. I just hope they don't lean on that too much and they do a proper introduction.
Well, going on the trailers, it looks very centered around White Widow, Red Guardian, that relationship, which is great. So it's a strong base to base everything else around. And I mean, Sebastian Stan's awesome. He just has to be cool. He just walks into scene. They can be funny. And if you're saying White Russell's doing a great job, that's proof, there's enough there that I'm excited. And looking at it, it's like, please bring it together and maybe we can reset some sort of Marvel thing going. Bring the fun back.
All of those characters were fun, though, and I think that's the point. It almost feels like it's a spin-off with the fun guys. We'll get rid of the... we'll give him a big bad to talk about. Let's throw Sentry at him and see how that plays out. But I think that's fun. And the fact that even Sebastian Stan's Winter Soldier went from Winter Soldier, Captain America style, to Falcon and Winter Soldier, a bit of banter, they've dumbed down the power level, but they've kind of given him a personality. They feel like they've done that with a lot of them. You look at what they did with Hulk. They dumb down the power, they give him a personality. They've done the same thing, but it's worked, which is the difference here.
Red Guardian I loved. I will say that, because he was just phenomenal. But, let the whole Marvel thing, like, do we talk Doomsday? Is anyone looking forward to that?
Well, yeah, but I have no idea why. Like, it's like, I really like chairs. So the reveal they did was, did you see that? The YouTube video they did with all the chairs? 2 hours long, was it? Just the streaming of directors' chairs with actors' names on the back? It's ridiculous. And to think that we're in a time when this sort of movie happens with this many actors, Disney has a very, very big truck of money that they can load up with this sort of thing. So it needs to deliver a lot,
Mm-hmm.
You know, we had the perfect ending with Endgame. They did well. And if they finished there, it would have been good. You know, it's sort of Lord of the Rings was 3 good movies, and he went and did The Hobbit. You know, you could have ended on Endgame and be done, and it would have been perfect. But they want to keep going. It's like, okay, fair chop. You're going to try, but they've got a lot to live up to. That's for sure.
They needed more of those trucks filled with money. But yet, it worries me. It worries me that there's so many actors in it. And
will you have time for a plot?
We have time for a plot. Will people be getting more than some of them might only get like a couple of minutes screen time anyway? And
you'd have to, unless it's 3 hours long, and even if it is, there's so many people.
You can't put them meaningfully in it unless it is that end game style big battle scene where you just roll out all your mates and be like, yeah, here's a pan shot where everybody in there. Somebody say Avengers Assemble and off we roll.
Yeah, unless you're bringing in comes Ian McKellen and bang, he gets killed straight away. That's it. He's in. That's done. We move on from that moment. Unless, you get a scene with the X-Men, they turn up, they die. I mean, that's the only...
that could be fun though. Like, I mean, I feel like there needs to be a bit of a passing of the baton if they're going to keep this fresh, right? So you need to get rid of a lot of the actual, the contracts are ended. If nothing else, the actors are getting old.
But then they
Hugh
just
Jackman's
come
doing
back.
it until he's 90.
Yeah, but then they just come back as different characters. Like, I just don't get Downey Jr. coming back as Doom. I just don't get it.
That reeked of desperation.
Yes.
When the announcement was done. It was a great announcement. I did get goosebumps because it was a shock, but it made no sense. It was just like, But I mean, who's the actor that you could do it? I was trying to talk with a friend saying there is no one now that you could say, who would you put in that role to be the big bad for? Unfortunately, I think they've rushed it too. Like, this is one movie next year. There's no build up to this.
Yep. No, I don't think so.
So it's just one thing. I would love... Who's the guy from Inglourious Bastards? The German?
The guy with the face. I don't know.
Yeah, the dude. That guy. Anyway, he was the one I think would be a great Doom. But he's not the draw to be the big bad on a $1 billion movie.
No, but I mean, neither was Josh Brolin, really.
True.
But he had makeup. I suppose Doom's got a
mask.
Who sees
why don't look? They're getting all these people back, right? They're getting X-Men back. They're getting all these actors. Kelsey Grammer, bloody hell! Why don't they just get back Julian Niptuck, whatever his last name was?
McMahon.
Yes, get him back. He's done it before.
He was actually not bad. I didn't mind him after, but yeah.
I don't know.
Well, there's a lot of speculation we'll be having for the next 12 months. It's, there'll be set leaks. I hope they don't. I mean, I miss being a kid in the 80s and just these movies would turn up. Or watching Entertainment Tonight if I was homesick from school and catch a little glimpse of something going, oh my God, I'll see that in 8 months' time because, we got everything late in Australia. It was great just to turn up to the movies and see a poster going, what the hell is that? Now, I mean, we've been doing Geek Dudes for 12 years now. So early on, we were always looking for the news and talking about it. And we got to a point now, it's like, no, we don't want to spoil too much for us. So we do limit the point. Like, I'm a big Superman fan and I'm looking forward to the new movie. And I think a trailer's due in the next couple of weeks. And I kind of don't want to watch it now. And I'll do my best to go on the podcast and talk about it without watching it. But yeah, it's sort of like, I just don't want to know. And they've just finished filming a Voltron movie, which I didn't know they were filming in Queensland with Henry Cavill. It just finished this week. I've seen nothing except those 2 pieces. It's like, that's awesome.
Yep.
There's going to be a Voltron movie, which is ridiculous. It's got Henry Cavill in it and nothing. No one's talking about it. So great. Bring it on.
I did not know this was a thing until now, and I'm a little bit excited.
It is.
I think a little bit
I'm
of
excited about that.
Yeah, no, that's fun. I like that. I mean, maybe the added benefit of Marvel is it takes all the attention, so these things can sneak through the radar.
Maybe. I will say I'm looking forward more to Voltron than I am to Highlander with Cavill.
Is that a thing, though? They keep
Oh.
talking about it. How real is it?
I'm hoping it's not.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, do we need another one? Do we need anything, really? No, but,
No.
Henry in a kilt, I'm up for that.
I just
The He-Man, what about the Master Universe movie? You're looking forward to that?
Jared Leto
Forget that.
concerns me.
He's wearing a mask or something. We don't have to worry about that.
I am looking forward to it. Like it. I know other people hate me for saying this, but it can't be worse than the last one.
I was going to ask how they are going to possibly meet the bar set.
It's got one thing that makes it. I can make it one thing that makes it better. Battle Cat.
Yes, Battle Cat.
Because they showed behind the scenes at CinemaCon this year. So there was sort of no footage yet, but there was behind the scenes images and some set designs and sketches and everything. And there was a sketch for Battle Cat. So I was like, excellent. And people who were not what's the name fans, Master Universe fans, saw what they saw and they were excited. And that has me excited. And it's like, that's what we want to see. And and people are saying, if you want to see representation of the action figures that you had as a kid on screen, you're going to be happy. And it's like, yes, please.
Which is what I want. It is what I want. I want to see Eternia. I don't want the whole thing to be based on Earth.
I look, as long as when they get to the credits, He-Man comes out and goes, kids, what we learned today was... that's the bit I want to see.
We definitely need some moral lessons at the moment.
Yeah.
We could do with that.
Yeah.
In today's movie, Orko was a dipshit. This is why we shouldn't act like this, children. Oh, no, yes. I am looking forward to Masters.
But they did cast a stunt guy, and he posted on his Twitter or his Instagram saying, some days dreams do come true. And even if that dream is where you get to grow your neck an extra 8 feet and you get turned into a toy. And this guy was cast as Mechanic. And that is my point of reference. Like, there was rumors years ago when they've been trying to make this movie for years. And John Cena was rumored to be Mechanic. And it's like, if you're doing Mechanic, you're doing something right. Because you can easily make a Conan-like or a Thor Ragnarok-like Master of the Universe movie where you've got He-Man and maybe one or two other characters.
Yeah.
But when you're going deep and you've got Mechanic, the dude looks over hedges. That's what he does. It's sort of like, that's what we want. He looks cool, he's bright red and blue, and his head goes long. Perfect. So if they bring Battle Bones, this is stuff you haven't seen before. We want to see things we haven't, and this is your opportunity to be different. And it's like, please. And the director's excellent too. So he did the Bumblebee movie.
Okay.
So it's like, all right, you know what you're doing. I trust in you. So it's like, all right, I don't want to see any more. Just give me that.
Finally took Michael Bay off the thing.
Yeah.
I just want Trapjaw. If you give me Trapjaw, I'll be happy. I had a couple of weeks, I had about a week, a couple of months ago, where I was quite ill, sort of bedridden. And I actually watched, because I hadn't seen either Rise of the Beasts or Bumblebee. And I watched them both, and I was actually surprised by how much I enjoyed them. Bumblebee's a good film.
Oh, Bumblebee's amazing.
Yeah. Seeing Soundwave in his proper form was also an added bonus. But, like, I got to the end of the film, I'm like, I didn't hate that. Normally I'd watch a Transformers film and I'm like, yeah, why?
They just need, I actually think with the entire Transformers franchise up until that point, though, they just need to stop talking about it like it was Transformers. If they just retitled the movie Giant Robot Punch-On, cool.
Yep.
Take it away from the IP that I know and love and just that'd do. I think that
Optimus Prime Murderbot.
Yeah.
He's just like, he just kept getting angry every episode. Like, I mean, Optimus, every movie, because I grew up with He-Man, Optimus, these moral centers. Like you said, I didn't know what to think until at the end of the episode, they told me what I learned that day. And then you watch the new movies of Michael Bay and Optimus is just ripping heads off people.
He was
and just,
he was
and
more
getting
of a
angry at everyone.
he was definitely a Negatron, not an Optimus Prime.
Correct.
That was
My
Megatron had a point.
My only complaint with Bumblebee is, who was the guy that ripped out his vocal cords? Was that Blitzwing? Because he was Starscream colours. I thought it was Starscream from the get-go, and it wasn't because I'm old and I watch every film with subtitles.
It's so good, isn't it?
Yeah, because there's so much you miss out on. You're like, somebody says something, I'm like, I don't hear that at all. I don't know where that's coming from, but it says it on the screen that that's happening, so I believe it. And it wasn't until the subtitles gave his name, I'm like, wait, it's not Starscream? Because to me it looked like him. Anyway. What else were you watching?
That was a very long thing for Have We Watched Daredevil?
Yes.
That's how much we wanted to talk about it.
That's how much. Look, I will say I did watch Daredevil, but I watched the first 3 or 4 episodes, and then there was a month, and then I went, oh, I should probably finish this. That was how it went. And it ended, and then I went, oh, now I'm going to have to watch more because they didn't resolve anything.
It's one of those, is it?
Yeah. And it was very disjointed. Did you notice that it was made by 2 different people with a very big gap in between? Yeah.
And it was, look, and they started dropping a lot of teasers right at the end about we could do this, or we could do this, and we could introduce these characters. And I'm like, guys, can we just get to some actual things? I also really feel like, again, Daredevil, I mean, he kind of presented in the very first series as superpowered. And now he's just a blind guy who isn't really blind. That's basically the baseline of who he is and where, because there's very little. He gets beaten up a lot, I think is my takeaway.
Well, he's got normal human strength, I suppose.
It does have normal human strength, but I thought all of the enhanced senses, reflexes, everything else was supposed to sort of put him above the average cop on the street. And he just, there's moments, and then he goes back to just getting punched by a dude. I'm like, can we find they just haven't seemed to found a happy medium of showing the enhance and the weakness without. Again, it just feels like one minute he's doing backflips and amazing stuff and dodging bullets, and the next minute he's just getting punched by a cop.
So his kryptonite is fists. When he gets too close to a fist, he gets hurt.
I mean, that is all of our kryptonites, really.
But suppose the bottle episode, which is the bank robbery episode. Now, that was done by the original crew. They made the season, and Feige basically goes, nah, not the vibe. So the people came in. So episodes 1 and 2 and the last 2 episodes were totally redone by the new crew. And that's when it gets hyper violent and really punchy. So your more superhero-y fun version of Daredevil was that episode, I think you're talking, where you are seeing those superpowers in action, and he's the smartest guy in the room who knows what's going on, and he's manipulating everything.
And then we just go, no, we want blind Punisher. That's kind of the vibe that we get for a lot of the rest of it. And I'm like, oh, actually, if I wanted to watch more Frank Castle, I would just go watch Punisher.
I never watched the Netflix series of Punisher because I tapped out of Daredevil after season 2, so I never continued on, so I never saw it. And I never watched Walking Dead, so I don't have a resonance with Barenthal. He seemed really good, so I watched him in this, and that was my real first really absorbing of him. And I grew up in the 80s, 90s reading comics of the Punisher. And to me, he's a hero because he was on the book from a Marvel comic, and he's on the title, so he must be a superhero. And he punches and shoots bad guys. And that was my take of it as a teenage boy reading the Punisher, going, he's cool because he shoots people in the face, and they're bad people. Watching him in this, it's like, you're a psychopath, dude.
You are broken.
Yeah. And it was like, oh my God, I'm feeling uncomfortable about liking you back in the day. But yeah, I mean, I get that's a thing, but it's sort of like, oh, that's more realistic. And I guess at least they took the Punisher logo back because unfortunately it was appropriated by the wrong people in real life. And at least Marvel tried to rectify that, going, no, you're all a bunch of dicks.
Mm.
And it's like, oh, hopefully it expands a little bit. But yeah, that
Yeah.
was a nice thing to see.
That was fun. I did like the fact that they seemed to keep a lot of tension. I feel like there was always this impending violence across the whole thing, which was super fun. But yeah, it did feel disjointed, and it felt like they couldn't quite land any of the characters.
You
Mhm.
guys are really selling it to me.
Well, they did recast Vanessa, I think. So that was totally. So it was stuff was filmed and they've interjected bits. So I think they've succeeded in actually making something good or okay. But at least season 2 is going to be all the same people with the same general direction.
Yeah.
Because apparently John Burenthal got to the end of it and goes, I don't like this at all. I'm walking. I'm not coming back. And that's when they fixed it. And yes, he's back. And he gets his own movie.
I do like him. I did watch Walking Dead up to a point. He's only in the first season of it anyway. But yeah, I do like him as a character. I like Punisher, but Punisher was always one of those ones. He was brought in as a villain, and then people started liking him. Sort of, I think the same thing as Deadpool as well. Brought in
Venom.
as a character to exactly. Have you seen the
Lobo.
third Venom film? Have you seen it, Mitch?
No. Yeah, this fatigue. Sort of like, and those not Spider-Man universe movies, they are work. They really are work. I did watch Madam Web.
I haven't seen that. Same week I was sick, I watched Venom 3. And again, I don't know, maybe I was just sick in the head as well, but I actually enjoyed it.
Well,
I thought it was better than the other two. Which
okay,
is not
I'm intrigued.
It's not a high bar.
Not a high bar.
Really.
But I did find I caught Venom 2 was on TV one night and I'm just watching it. And I actually really appreciate the two-hander that is Eddie and Venom.
I think
yes.
they got better at that bit. It was just the rest of the movie around it that was the problem. Like,
that's where it falls down. Yeah, but I enjoyed them. Yes.
No,
it's worth it.
I'd give Venom at 3 a go, actually. I know you guys hang shit on it all the time, but
it's easy.
Well, we haven't seen 3, but it's easy to. It's an easy thing to pick on.
Yes.
But it is at least fun. And going back to talking in Marvel, it was at least fun, and that's not a problem. Madam Web, not so much.
I haven't had the guts for that one.
No, that looked like work. It looked like they want to try and make me think, and that's not why I go to the Marvel movies.
Yeah, and Craven, I haven't done that either.
No. I've no interest, honestly. Like if you're talking Spider-Man villains, you've got your Doc Ock, you've got your Green Goblin, you've got Venom, and you've got the others.
I mean, Craven is a great character for a good idea, because if you've got Spider-Man and you've got the ultimate hunter going, I want to get the ultimate prey, I'm going to go to New York, I'm going to hunt down Spider-Man. Great story. So let's not put Spider-Man in it and turn him into an anti-hero where he's bitten by a radioactive lion or something and gets superpowers. That's not him. And he becomes an eco-warrior.
He just joined the Greens and he's handing out leaflets or something. I don't know. But
it's just like, I don't know, Sony. I mean, the Into the Spider-Verse movies are fantastic. They are amazing. And everything else is just like, are you trying at all? It just seemed weird. Like the Venom at least was fun. I'll give them that.
Everyone seems like they're just churning shit out for the sake of it these days.
But I mean, I think that's how they make money.
Yeah, but
I think there's a problem
I don't
here.
think there's any effort. I did watch The Crow.
Oh.
Yeah.
Was that when you were sick?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Pretty much all I could do was lie in bed and watch TV when I was not sleeping. I was really hesitant because I love the original Crow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it is a classic, and it's Brandon Lee, and it's his legacy, so to speak. They did the sequels, and the sequels were more miss than hit.
Eddie
Mhm.
Furlong. Yep.
I actually
Iggy
didn't
Pop.
mind that one. But the thing with the Crow is that the Crow can be anyone, because it's the Crow giving the power to somebody who's been horribly mistreated or whatever. So why did it have to be Eric Draven again?
Oh, okay. Eh,
That's what I didn't get. Why remake? And it wasn't. It was a complete remake, because Eric and Sarah meet in a drug rehab center, and like I couldn't get anything out of this one. I refused to watch it until it was free on some streaming service. I thought, oh, it's just come on Prime, I'll watch it, and it was like, rent for $3. I'm like, no, that's too much. So I waited until it was free.
I
Agreed.
mean, like you, I think that's a movie I've seen at the cinemas most in its first run, was the original movie. Because when did it come out? 93? Around there?
Oh yeah, about that, yeah.
Mhm.
So I was going into my goth phase, going to goth clubs. It was perfect. I went to this
Mhm.
thing, the soundtrack, the visuals, everything. It was sort of like, wow. And it was of its time, and I was
Mhm.
of that time, so it was perfect. It was a rite of passage movie for me
Yep.
at the time. I saw the trailer for this new one, and I felt old, and I
Mhm.
realized this is not my Crow, in not a bad way. It's just not for me, because it's
No,
for that generation.
it's a completely different Crow for a generation that from all the reviews doesn't want it.
Yeah.
But why is it the same guy, the same name, same characters in a totally different story that makes no fucking sense? That's
It's
my humble opinion.
and I think fundamentally, like, there are movies that I was excited about in my childhood and growing up and stuff, and I'm going to try and show them to my children. And they're going to be like, "What the fuck is this? It's trash. This is
Mhm.
garbage." And I think there's this benefit in that if they remake those movies in a way that appeals to the generation of the time, you
Mhm.
get to share the joy. It's not the movie I loved, but they were never going to love that movie. Let's give them the equivalent.
Mhm.
But they just it feels like they're trying to please everybody. It's like, we're going to make the old movie, but we're going to make it for the new people, but we don't want to piss off the old people. But if we do that, we need, like, just scrap it. Understand that the old people like the old movie, and make a new movie for the new people. And I think that would actually be a much nicer way,
Mhm.
because my joy is a new generation appreciating something that I liked, even if they've changed it. And now Bruce Davis has got a new hat. That's weird. And I don't, I'm going to yell
And
at Cloud still,
Yeah.
but
Then there was a very, very simple fix for the Crow, in that you just changed the names.
I reckon I'm picking up that you don't like the fact it was the same character. I'm not sure. Maybe
Like, I didn't enjoy the film, let's put it that way. But what shits me is that it was the same name. Like, Eric Draven is Brandon Lee. And to me, at least in my head, you remake that film with the same character name, you are taking away from him.
Yep.
You're saying, okay, well, that's in the past. We're not caring about that in any way, shape, or form. We're just going to redo the way we want it. Whereas you make him, I don't know, Dave Smith,
Derek Braven.
Derek Braven is, then you're good to go. And it's still a shit film, but you don't piss off the people who, And I watched the Crow film again, like within the last year, and it's still fucking good. It's so
Now,
pretty. It's got everything.
have you talked about introducing it to your kids, or movies for your children and stuff like that? How old are your kids? I've got a 9 and an 11-year-old.
Will be
And
younger.
yeah. And I'm
10 and 8.
trying to curate their cinema history to them. It's sort of like, I want to rush, and it's like, no, I need to hold some back, and I do this. And yeah, I'm struggling. Like, we have movie night every week, like when we have a rotating roster where one person chooses the takeaway, one chooses the movie. So when it's my turn, I'm like, I'm trying to bring in classics. I have tried, I put on Top Gun. I knew that wasn't a sit down and watch as a family thing. I just put it on sometimes. I put on Jason the Argonauts as my go-to. I want them to love it like I do, but I can't force them to love it, so they're not going to. But I just put it on just so osmosisly they'll know the skeletons are cool. But yeah, I'm still struggling. I'm trying to find those classic movies, and what I can't find is comedies. That I grew up watching the worst stuff. My parents borrowed, and we watched Revenge of the Nerds when I was like 12. It's like, this is weird. So Disney has sort of ruined a lot with Pixar and everything. So this is family movies, and trying to find that middle ground of fun. Like, is Flying High right yet to show? I don't know. And this is, I can't remember what I laughed at as a kid. What did I see it? I had an uproariously laughing movie. So I did, without any prompting, I did show them Spaceballs, because they do love Star Wars. And that was fun. Because nothing. I just put a movie on, sit down, we're watching this movie, and it's like, what? And then space happens, and the ship goes long and long, and Jackson's like, is this copyright infringement? It's like, just wait. Yeah, so that was fun. But yeah, I want to make them enjoy movies and stuff, but I can't. I want to let it happen naturally.
Particularly with comedies too, as so many of them are of their time. Like, I am very nervous about the idea of another Naked Gun movie. Like, guys, I think it had its time. Maybe just let it die. But like, even the Mel Brooks stuff. Like, when do I get to put Men in Tights on? When is that appropriate, and when is that okay?
Yeah, because I over-explain things, and my son asks lots of questions. So we have very long conversations, and I go on so many tangents, filling in information. So yeah, Mel Brooks is going to be a long conversation. Yes. It's like, what? I've got to explain a lot of things when I watch a lot of these movies from different times, saying, well, at the time, that was okay to say these things. But yeah, it was many times you probably could get away with now. It's sort of like, as you get older, it's sort of
Blazing Saddles, we start to get more and more. It gets like, but also to that point, like, I want it, like, Never Ending Story. I'm both traumatized and in love with that movie as a child, and I don't know whether that's appropriate trauma to inflict on another generation, and at what point. Flight of the Navigator. I watched Flight of the Navigator 8 million times as a kid, and at some point, the Dark Crystal is going to terrify them. Whenever.
I'm never going to show it to them because I hate it. It's nightmare fuel. I don't want to watch it, so they don't have to watch it. Labyrinth, yeah, great, yeah.
I'm still having the conundrum of when The Nightmare Before Christmas is appropriate.
Okay.
I loved that movie. I, to this day, love that movie. Tim Burton can do no wrong. Danny Elfman is the perfect combination of everything. Claymation, but still maybe a little bit. I don't know.
Well, they've seen that from a very young age. Yeah. I've shown that from years ago, so they've sort of grown up with that because it's just on. It's just one of those Christmas movies you put on in the background. But yeah, I did show them The Iron Giant way too early, and that's where I learned. Because you should love that movie. You will love that movie. But I showed them and they didn't appreciate it. So, okay, all right. So I had to pare back a little bit and just work out, when do I just release some of these movies to them? And I'm looking forward to a lot of it. But Jaws, I want to show them Jaws so bad. I did stuff up, though, with Predator. That was a mistake. Because when Carl Weathers died, there was a big news. It's like, Carl Weathers died. And I said, oh, no, the world's most handliest handshake in cinema history died. And Jackson's like, what? It's like, him and Arnold Schwarzenegger did this thing. And it's like, who's Arnold Schwarzenegger? It's like, I felt a terrible parent. It's like, he doesn't know who he is. What have I done? So I showed him the handshake scene and all this sort of stuff. Then told him about Predator. It's one of my favorite movies, this and that. And then the Astor went and was going to show it. It's like, they're showing the Predator at the Astor. It's like, do you want to see it? And he's like, yeah, because he saw the enthusiasm with me. It's like, I'm going, and I just forgot so much about that movie because you just think about the end, and the end is cool, but it starts off and it got the helicopter scene at the start, the manliest men just being manly, just being
Yep.
kick-ass. It's like, this is awesome. The handshake happens, we're at the Astor, the crowd erupts. That's what you want. This is what you want in a
Goddamn
movie.
sexual Tyrannosaurus.
Exactly. And then they find the skinned bodies hanging in the tree, and I'm like, fuck. It's like- and Jax just leans to me and goes, I don't think I like this movie. It's like, I'm sorry. But by the end of it, you know, the Alien versus Arnie is awesome. And that's the last thing you remember. And I think that was the first time I realized, because I've seen it plenty of times, and it's the weirdest movie because it ends. And then you get the sitcom ending where you get to see the actors
Yes.
again with their name, and they all smile at you. It's
Except for
so
Arnie.
weird. Yeah.
They-
And I was like, what? And then I realized, I think, because it's such a bummer ending,
Yeah.
but it was such a fun ride, it gives you a happier ending just to sort of enjoy it. It's such a weird thing, but I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
They're all smiling down from heaven.
Yeah. So I learned from that mistake with Jax, but it's sort of like, okay. So that was fun. And the scene when they attack the village or whatever it was, that goes forever. I didn't realize, because I'm just looking at all these squibs going, okay, it finishes soon. No, it doesn't. It's still going. It's still going. It's still going. But yeah, but once the alien turns up, it's cool.
Yeah. See, I'm going through that too. I'm trying to work out what is right to show my kids and what is not. And we've done a lot of sort of, you know, we've gone through all the Harry Potter films because, you know, my daughter and I have been reading the Harry Potter books, and we've finished all those, and we'd finish a book and then we'd watch the movie. We've done the first 5 Batman films. We've done the 9 standard Star Wars films, you know, things like that. And the kids are all enjoying it. We're a third of the way through Return of the King as well. So they've sat through 2 Lord of the Rings films. And
Super Deluxe Extended Editions?
I don't think so. It's just like 2.5 hours or whatever.
Director's commentary, that's why.
No.
Now read the Silmarillion.
Yes, I'm sitting there, and I was thinking the other day, I'm like, we've been watching all these Harry Potter films for my daughter, and my son's enjoyed them. Don't get me wrong, he's 8, but I'm like, what can I watch with him? I'm like, is it too early for Terminator 2? Like, I think Terminator 1 is not on because the blood and guts and the police all dying and all that sort of stuff and the storyline in general is probably a bit much. But I reckon Terminator 2, I'm trying to think. I can't remember anything overly graphic or bad. Yeah.
The dude getting shot is metal. It doesn't count, right?
Exactly. You know,
it's only robots.
The step parents is the only thing I can think of.
Oh,
Wolfie, yes. So yeah, no, I'm having that dilemma in my head. Spaceballs is a great one though. I've got to find that.
Yeah, well, this maybe make me a bad parent. I'm not sure. So we've done the Harry Potters, we've done the Star Wars, and I thought, oh, do I do Lord of the Rings? Are they ready? I think they are. And then I thought, no, I'll do the Hobbit first. And this could be a bit bad on me, but I thought no, because if you get to the end of Lord of the Rings and they go, is there any more? I go, yeah, there's the Hobbit. That's not good. And if you get to the end of the Hobbit, is there any more? Yes, there is. And then you get Lord of the Rings. That's my theory. I don't know if it'll work, but that's what I'm going with.
So that's kind of like me showing the Skarsgård Crow before the Brandon Lee Crow. Is there any more? No, don't ever show me any of that ever again. I'm just thinking Spaceballs. I've got to write that down. Spaceballs. That's perfect. My son loves Star Wars. I mean, I don't know.
Do they like the Jurassic Parks? That's my son's favorite franchise. He was a Star Wars guy for a while. Then he got into the Jurassic Parks, and that's his go-to. If he rewatches anything, that's his. So yeah, he's excited for the new one.
They had interest. They've watched like the animated show, but I haven't sat them down with the actual film yet. That also might be a go-to though.
Yeah,
guys get eaten on toilets.
Yeah, that moment, right? But that was the movie when that first came out. I remember being whatever age I was at, but like that was the one that my parents took me to the cinema at like 11 o'clock at night to watch for the first time. And then my jerk of a father, as we were walking back to the car, just went, "I'll go open the car," and then hid around a corner and jumped out at me. And I am still to this day scarred by that moment. And I'm not sure whether it's the movie or that. Anyway.
You were halfway through that story and you were saying your jerk of a father and you were coming out of the cinema. And all I could think in my head was Homer coming out of Empire Strikes Back going, "Oh, I can't believe Darth Vader was Luke's dad."
Yeah. No, he just went and opened the car and he came back and then just hid around a corner. And as I walked past, jumped and fuck, I freaked.
A glass of water was...
Yeah. Anyway. So, yeah, now I'm not sure if it was the movie. All right. Have we watched anything else for fun?
I don't know about fun, but I watched most of the new season of Black Mirror.
Fun's not the right word.
They can be hit and miss.
I haven't watched it for a long time, but it's kind of... I love Charlie Brooker, like everything he does. And Black Mirror's excellent, but it was too confronting sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
There was that one episode where it was like he had his fight with his girlfriend and they could remember everything.
Yes.
And they went through that whole, "No, you said this in the argument," and going back and replaying everything. And it was like, that was too... For me, it was like, oh, that's terrible. I don't want to even think about that because I know I would.
We never need to go to that point. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's sort of like it just put me off watching anymore. It was like I don't want to hold up a mirror to myself anymore. This is not good. But I did watch the Star Trek episode 1 where they go into the virtual game. That was fantastic because I heard enough good things. But yeah, I appreciate it as a show, but I just haven't sorted out because going back to the fun thing, it just wasn't.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah,
there is a sequel to that Star Trek episode. So there's another episode on that.
Excellent.
But yeah, we had a night where my kids were at my mum's and the wife and I were home and we're like, let's get some takeaway and watch something. And we're like, oh, Black Mirror new series. And we put it on. We're halfway through the first episode and we're like, I remember what Black Mirror is. Because it's, the first episode's all about this girl who's been in an accident. She's and her husband, who is played by Chris O'Dowd. Is it O'Dowd or Chris Dowd? Yep. Yep. And she's in an accident and she's going to die because there's brain damage. But there's a company that can repair that brain by inserting, and as long as she stays within the satellite towers, basically, she'll be fine. And it's simple. It's like, but it's a subscription service. And it's like $200 a month or whatever. And then that's your premium. Like everything will be fine. She'll be I'm living proof. Look at me. But then that becomes the basic service. And then like they keep upgrading and all of a sudden she's in the middle. She's a school teacher and she's in the middle of the class and she just starts saying ads without realizing and it goes dark.
It's on Netflix, yeah?
Yeah. And we're sitting there watching it going, oh, I don't know if this is the feel-good, kids are away show we wanted to watch.
Yeah, no, it's not date night material, is it?
No.
Did you watch it all? The whole season?
I haven't seen... The only episode I haven't seen yet is the sequel to the Star Trek one.
Okay. Because there's an episode about Mandela Effect, is that right?
Yes.
Apparently there's 2 episodes streaming and they're random.
Yes.
So there's a Mandela effect going on where you watch an episode where things happen and there's other people who are watching a totally different episode to you.
It's only little simple things, but and I remember reading about that and then I was just watching and I'm like, oh, that's this episode because they were like, no, you used to work at a company called Bernie's. No, it was Barney's, I'm sure. Like, and back and forth. And I'm like, I remember the...
Very, very clever.
Yeah. Last of Us. Have any of you guys seen it?
No.
It's meant to be fantastic.
Yes.
I've
I
watched the
just
first episode. I just haven't
of
gone
the
any
first
further yet.
season or second season?
First season.
Okay.
Yeah.
You play the game?
No, because I
Okay.
don't have a
Me neither.
PlayStation. So,
Okay.
but yeah, I've heard nothing but good things, and
It's
so I
good
started
looking.
watching. We've watched the first episode, so I'm wanting. It's again one we Ali and I watched together. So I've got to sort of wait until we've got time together, which is few
So
and
one
far
episode
between.
every 6 months, and then
Pretty
eventually,
much.
yeah.
Yeah, but
Pedro
first
Pascal,
episode
though.
really good. Yeah, first episode really good.
Yeah, like I've heard great things, standalone episodes. I've heard enough about it, but I never started The Walking Dead. I read the first 8 trades, I suppose, of the comic, and it was just again bleak. And it's like a TV show of this. It's like it's gonna be this. I don't know if I can sit through this. And obviously, it's huge, it's massive, and everything. So I'm probably missing something.
It's Neighbours with zombies.
Okay.
There
That's my point.
are 32 trades.
It went that long. Okay.
They weren't that long. I mean, I've got them all sitting behind me, so I enjoyed it to a point, and then it just got very much the same thing on repeat. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
I have heard that, but yeah. So, and that's the thing. Robert Kirkman, I seem to find, because I read the trades, so you'd read the 6 issues, and he writes well, and you power through these things. But it seems like once you stop, you don't look for the next one. So, 6 months later, the next trade comes out. I wasn't jonesing for it in that time in between. But when you're in it, it's great. So I reckon if you were a fan of the comics as monthlies, it would have been amazing to go through. But I didn't read it that way. So yeah, I got to trade 8, and that was enough for me. And it's like I get the gist.
I mean, I just bought the trades as they came out. So, and issue 100 was like, jaw-droppingly good. They recreated that in the show, eventually changed a little bit, but it was one of those ones where I was watching, like, it was the equivalent of me having read Game of Thrones before seeing Red Wedding, which I didn't do, but like, if I had that, it had that same effect but in this case, I did know what was coming. So, but yeah, it got very much of a muchness.
But at least Last of Us is 2 seasons. That's it. I think that's the plan. Yeah,
I think so. Do you guys have any recommendations for people listening? Anything you think is a must see?
Well, I did go to the movies last week, and I saw the Minecraft movie with the family, and it is fun. Like, the way you see it is with other people, with children in the audience, and that is what you are. That experience you're looking for it's joy, pure joy.
Okay.
Jack Black is Jack Black. There is no character development. You know what you're getting. Jason Momoa is having fun. Everyone's having fun in this movie, and it just works. Like I'm pretty sure this whole chicken jockey thing is viral marketing, because there is no way that organically happens. It's not that good. It's not that good a scene that would create a response that it's getting, but it's working. I'll give it that. But yeah, it was a joy of a movie, and I had a lot of fun. That was good.
Okay.
Yeah,
my mum rang me the other day when she had the kids, and she's like, I gave the kids the option of the beach or the Minecraft movie, and they've chosen the movie. But did you want to take them? I'm like, no, Mum, you can go ahead.
Okay.
I was like, I enjoy playing the game with them. I was like, I don't know if I can sit through a movie, but it was good.
But it was good to see, because my son plays his Minecraft, and he's just leaning over to his sister. That's a YouTuber called this guy that they put in here. So the fact he's got his own Easter eggs, he's got his own life now in his own world that I don't understand any of it, but he's got it, and he's excited for it. And I was like, that's awesome. So that was good. On the other side, I did see Sinners last week as well, which is a Ryan Coogler movie, which is awesome. Not the feel-good fun that is Minecraft, but it is awesome. Yeah, just really, really good. Like, a well-made movie, amazingly acted. Michael B. Jordan is ridiculous. Haley Steinfeld from the Bumblebee movie is in it as well, and Hawkeye. And she's And yeah, and if you like music too, there's a really synergy in this filmmaking and music and everything. It's special. That's all I'll say. Really good.
Excellent.
Okay.
Jace, any recommendations?
Nah, fuck all.
I do have one. There's a show on Disney Plus called Paradise. And I watched the first episode. I'm like, okay, because it gives you what the show's about pretty much straight from the get-go. There's a guy who's in charge of looking after the president. It's not the president, it's an ex-president. And the ex-president is killed, and it's up to this guy to work out what's gone wrong. The president is played by James Marsden, and he is fantastic. But there is a twist at the end of the first episode which just got me hooked, and I had to watch the whole thing. So I really, really enjoyed it. Really recommend it. They're going to be making a second season, I know. So they've left it open, of course, but really interesting. Definitely not what I was expecting. All right,
not with the CGI sidekick.
No CGI sidekick. No, red sunglasses. Just James being James. There's a jury duty show that he's in that I've seen one or two episodes. I can't remember what that's called, but he was fucking hilarious in that.
That was meant to be excellent, that show.
Yeah.
Called The Juror, wasn't it?
I can't remember what it was called.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Shall we take a quick break? Break?
The Brack Show.
The Brack Show.
Break. Done. I'm going to do that. Break.
Okay, that was totally my fault. I would like to take this opportunity to apologize to Jace for having to find some music to break this thing up.
Oh, motherfucker. Now I realize what's happened.
I was totally thinking with my dick then, but I've already been in the circumstance once this week where I was in a meeting and I desperately needed to pee like an hour in, and that meeting went like another 3.5 hours. So
that's one way to exude dominance in a meeting, though. If you did that, that's the way to go.
Would have been a totally different kind of meeting, and I think HR might have gotten called in. But now, Mitch, you have Hey It's that day where Hey It's the podcast where you talk about the underlying racism that built this country, and Geek Dudes where you get to talk about TV and movies and geeky stuff.
Yes.
You are also a board game fan, and I don't feel like you get enough time on Geek Dudes to talk about that. So
No, that is true. I'm relatively new to the hobby, and the hobby is the generic term, isn't it? For the habit we have, like drug addicts. It's the hobby.
Plastic crack. It's called.
Yeah. So I suppose I got into it during COVID. That's when it started. Like, it was one of my bubble buddy. We caught up. We'd do exercise that we could do and this and that. And then we'd finish, bab a beer and play Xbox. That was sort of the sort of routine in this weird COVID life that we lived. And he was originally from Perth. And I just kept seeing games appear in his shelves. And he'd play a lot of board game arena stuff with friends back in Perth. And that was part of his COVID coping mechanism, stuff like that. And then there was games back and forth. And then one day he introduced me to Star Realms. I was like, what's this? And it was a basic deck building game, which I haven't really played. And I was like, this is kind of fun. And then the first taste is free. Yes. And then this is another game. And, I haven't played board games for ages. So this was all new and fun. And my personality is what else is out there. So here's one thing I like. Give me 14 others that are like this, and I'll go looking and I'll go buy. And it got out of hand, or it has gotten out of hand. I wasn't really an eBayer or a Facebook Marketplace guy. Now I am. So it's not a focused collection. It's random, but I do like IPs as well. So, thank God there's not many Marvel games out there. They don't slap Marvel on any old thing. So, yeah, it's I've got a lot of games, haven't played them all, but I like owning them,
That's
like
normal.
everything else that I collect. But yeah, it's a lot of fun just to see what games can do, because I realize, and I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos, because that's how I is this worth buying, this looks interesting, and discover the dice tower, as most people would, because it's so ubiquitous. But going back years, because you run out of videos now, so you keep going back and seeing old stuff, and the hobby has matured or evolved quite rapidly and big in quite a short period of time, I suppose. Like from the days of Catan up, it's
escalated.
Broadened. Yeah.
I think Kickstarter is to blame a lot for that too, because
Done
once
2
things
Kickstarters now too.
once things were on Kickstarter, then it seemed like every single game was getting released on Kickstarter, and then there's the whole FOMO thing where you can buy this game in the store, but if you go on the Kickstarter, then you get all this extra shit for free that you'll never get elsewhere.
There was a few companies that did that really, really well, really, really early, and I feel like they kind of set that precedent of, all right, this is what a Kickstarter means, and actually getting in early is worth it, because you get not just one thing, but it's fucking boxes of shit that you will never actually use, but you absolutely cannot live without.
I was introduced.
Totally to blame for that.
Well, I went and visited Brett, and I saw his stuff, all his, and when he bought out the Batman, is it not the Dark Knight? Is it the Batman Chronicles? What was the one with all the boxes?
Which one?
I'm trying to think.
Anyway, but it was like, here's the game, and this box after box after box. It's like, wow, that's a lot of game. And then Zombicide, that was the funniest one, because it wasn't from one part of the room. He went to 3 different areas of storage to pull out everything that was Zombicide. And I'm like, I can't even get my head around this. Since then, I've backed 2 Kickstarters, and one has delivered, which is the Master Universe Battlegrounds game, which, like you said, it's escalating. I need everything. I didn't even get close to everything. I've got a box in my lounge now with too much stuff, because I've got a lot of bits, but it's not all of it. And I have the Master Universe Clash for Eternia game. So it's not like I need another Master Universe game, but I want it. There's a third one out there, Fields of Eternia. I do want it. But this one, the miniatures on Clash is great. I've played the game. It's good. This one, the miniatures look great. When the game turned up, they're in like an old model kit, where they're in the peg still, and you've got to take and glue them together. It's like, that's work. I just want to move Battle Cat around. So I'm glad I have the game. I'm glad I kickstarted. It was a lot of fun. It was doing, and it's like the dilemma of picking, what extras do I get? I can't afford it all, but I'll do this, I'll do that. It was great. But yeah, and I've got the DC United game coming as well, and that had that depth of getting those stretch goals every day. It's like, this one's released. And you feel good. It's like, I've done something here.
I'm actually getting a return on investment before it's even, this is amazing. But I feel like there's a moment there with like the pledge manager, it's closed, it's everything. It's like, how much am I going to overstretch my finances? Like, there's not a question about whether I will. It's just, how far can they push me? And it's a real, like, there are days of dilemmas. The pledge manager closes. I have to actually decide how much I'm going to spend, but I desperately need the thing. But I have to go up to the next level to get the thing, and I don't.
With DC United, that was a huge thing for me, because I mean, Marvel United is such a fucking good game. It's simple. You can sit somebody down, have a game, teach them the rules in like 5 seconds, and have fun. And DC is my comic of choice. So it was never in any doubt if I would go on DC United, but the question was how much. And it all became, going, okay, well, opening every single box in a different bloody tab and going, okay, well, do I want this box enough to get these characters, but I don't really care about these ones, and weighing up every decision. It was the same, like, I looked at that Masters game, really looked, and I was adding things up, and I'm like, well, I need to get this one, I need to get that one, and at the end of the day, I just went, I've got a Masters game, and I think subconsciously I just let the time run out on that one.
You did well.
I really did appreciate the moment there of the particular language used in that, though. It's I need this one because I can't possibly buy it and not have. Like, that is unfathomable. The concept of having it, and I mean, I hear you, I'm on board, but it was just, I think that really speaks to this as a hobby, as everything. And I literally, like, to that point, I've got Clash of Returnia. I went, it's another Masters game. I have a Masters game. I've played it twice. No, I'm not even looking. I'm done. I'm stopping now, because if I get too far down the rabbit hole, it's going to be which add-ons do I need?
And then you get to the point where we've got X amount of space, and board games are not a small thing to store, especially when you're doing these Kickstarters and getting 14 different boxes for the one game.
Well, I know this is bad for a podcast, but I'm going to show the guys on video. I have DC United. I have a figure already, which came from Comic-Con last year. A friend of mine went over, and Simon had their booth, and they were offering a Godzilla for one of their games and a gold Superman figure for the DC United. So it's like, just send him a little message saying, "Can you please pick this up for me?" So yes,
I listened to when you said that on Geek Dudes, and instantly went, you fucking asshole, why didn't I know about this?
I should have thought. I didn't even think this. Just as soon as I found out about it, because he's a big Fantastic Four fan. So I saw the footage. You see the drone show from Comic-Con where they had Galactus in drones pop up over the horizon?
See, I don't watch any of that on purpose.
It was awesome. And I said, I hope you saw this. And he goes, no. It's like, but yeah, that's a problem. If you've ever been to Comic-Con, you are going to miss so much more than you ever see. But it was sort of like, that was cool. But yeah, I must have been on there, I don't know, Simon's Facebook group or something that they mentioned it. It's like, and I had no idea how easy it would be to get. I just said, can you try this booth? And gave him all the details, every single one, made it as easy as possible for him. And yes. And I knew it wasn't very big, so it's not like I'm giving him something massive to bring back from America. So that was not too bad.
No, it's fair.
But I remember
these Kickstarters, man, they kill me.
Because that Zombicide that you showed me was crazy. I never played the game, but then you've got American Presidents, you got Big Bang Theory, all these characters. It's just like, wow. And then not long after I saw you, the Kickstarter for Deceased was out. And I'm a DC guy more than anything. And I love Superman, I love Shazam. They're my two main guys. Then I can get plenty of stuff for them. But my obscure guy is The Question, and I really love him. And if they bring out a Question thing, I want to get it because it's so obscure. And I went down that pledge goal thing. How deep I had to go into this pledge to get the Question guy for one little miniature. It was so deep. It was like $400 in. It's like, I don't even know the game. I'm not even going to try. But that was a bit of a worry. And I think I've got it. I think it came out as one of the stretch goals, just the daily stretch goals on DC United. So I think I'm getting one there. But yeah, it's like with Deceased, I didn't even bother. But I'll just probably buy the base game of that when it comes out. But yeah, just finding those characters, because you showed me, I played Marvel United at your place and enjoyed the game. This is great. And then went looking, and then I found all these Kickstarted ones, and I was too late for all this stuff. And again, for Marvel, I've got an obscure character, and that's Quasar, which no one knows about. And if they ever make a thing of him, I'm going to buy it. And he did come out in the Annihilation set, which was Kickstarter only. so
Yep.
it was never going to hit retail, and it hadn't been released yet, but I knew it existed, and it was just that ticking time bomb of like, I'm going to have to check Marketplace, I'm going to have to check eBay, and it did pop up, and I got it for about $50 as a
Okay.
game,
Yep.
which wasn't too bad, and
No,
I didn't
that's
have to
not
buy
bad
a
for it.
$400 Kickstarter to get it, so I'm actually happy with that. So yes, but you're like you got me into this drug.
You did
You
it.
got me into this.
You
Just letting you
started
know.
it.
Oh, like Zombicide was. I think Zombicide was the first one that I knew of that had those sort of things.
Yeah.
And I only knew of it because I played the game once. I was at I think it was a session where we were playtesting the Malifaux role-playing game, actually. And one of the guys brought out Zombicide afterwards, and we played that, and I'm like, this is a fucking good game. And he had all these characters that he'd gotten from the Kickstarter, including Machete. And I was like, God damn it. All right. And then, so I went hard when the second Kickstarter went on. Hard. And I got all this, a lot of stuff. It rocked up at my mother-in-law's place, which is where I was living at the time, in crate size, basically. I ended up selling off half of that shit because I just wasn't playing it. But I kept all the extra Kickstarter characters. And I've still kept enough to play the game. But, it takes up so much room. But it's a great game. Marvel Zombies is the Marvel version, which is really good, and we need to play it again, Chase.
We should totally play that again.
And Deceased, I went decently into Deceased as well, because, again, it's Zombicide, but it's DC.
Is it delivered yet? It hasn't.
No, I'm still waiting on that one. I'm waiting on Deceased. I'm waiting on DC United, and I'm waiting on. They did an Arkham Asylum expansion to the DC card game. So they're the 3 Kickstarters I'm waiting for. Well, I'm waiting for a 4th, but it's not a board game. It's that they've redone the fighting fantasy novels.
Oh, yes.
So I jumped on that as well.
I read one just recently, actually.
Oh, did you? I wish I still.
My son's got into D&D with school, and it's so weird because he started this year and he goes, they have clubs at lunchtime that you can put together. There's this club my daughter goes to, and he goes, Navan we're going to put a D&D club together at lunchtime. And it's like, good on you. So at Christmas, I got him the starters kit and all this sort of stuff, and he had fun. He's played with them. And going back to my days in the 80s, if you started a D&D club, good luck. Your underpants surviving the wedgies, that sort of thing. I was like, I'm supporting him what he wants to do, but, how's this going to go?
Yeah, D&D is different to what it was in our day, because, I mean, that's how I got into all of this sort of stuff, was my grandmother buying me the basic set of D&D when I was like 8 or 9, simply by her walking into a shop and going, what are young boys like at the moment? Oh, D&D, okay. Getting told that by the store clerk, and probably being sold something that was sitting on the shelf because nobody in their right mind was buying it. But I got into it. And back at school, we would play D&D in the music room in another building away from the school, at lunchtime or after school or something, because it was not, we weren't the cool kids. Nowadays,
well, that's the thing. I said, how'd it go? Just waiting to see. And he goes, we had to turn people away. And it was like, awesome. That's excellent. So there's one teacher who does one. She's doing a campaign. There's Navan, another friend, and Jackson all running campaigns each. And that sort of thing. It's like, that's excellent. So I was like, good on you. So
well, my daughter brought up the same thing. One of her best friends, her dad plays D&D regularly. And so obviously she was told about it by a friend. And she came up to me. She's like, I want to try D&D. I'm like, do you? She's like, yeah. So I ran a very small campaign for an afternoon for them both. And they both had a lot of fun. But I had to dumb down the rules a lot. There's so much.
And that was the beauty of it.
Game.
And that's what I love about it, because he said, they came across there first. They did the thing, and one guy wanted to do this. It's like, well, as a DM, you're going to have to manipulate that and try and control it. It's tough. and they came across a chimera or whatever, and it's like, oh, to fight it, and they go, yeah, but they wanted to tame it. It's like, and it's like they did. It's like, so they got a campaign now with a freaking chimera following. It's like, that's awesome. Keep throwing animals at them. Let them have a freaking zoo that comes with them.
Yes.
How good would that be as a campaign? So it's like,
Excellent.
and that's, you can't predict that stuff. And that's the
No.
difference is board games to that. Is like,
Yeah.
you have no idea. And especially grade 5s,
Mhm.
grade 6s. Who knows what they're going to do?
See, in my head, I'm just remembering the last D&D campaign that I played, which is a number of years ago now, like the last serious one. And my character carried an apple corer around because any big monster that the group killed, I would take this apple corer and get a little hole in the skull somewhere. Yeah. And then have my way with that was my thing, right? So
What
that's
about
I
in-
think of.
What about in the game?
In the game as well. You know, we take a lot from our real life experiences and put them into these games. You realize that.
It's manifesting. I like it. Yeah.
Anyway, IPs. So board game IPs are very hit and miss.
Yeah, I did get warned off that because the friend who got me into games, he was sort of curating the good games. You know, you go to BGG, here's the top 10 list, the top 50, top 100, and all that sort of stuff.
Yep.
And I'm buying shit that's not even on the fucking 1,000. It's like, there's a Knight Rider game? I'm going to try it. Not knowing what BGG was at the time. And it rates a 2, you know, that sort of thing out of 10. So it's like, and he goes, dude, you really have to stop with the IP. Just because you like something doesn't mean it's a good game. It's like, all right. So I had to pare myself back. But thankfully, like you were saying, very hit and miss, but it seems to be a lot more hit now than miss.
Yes.
It appears.
The old games, the old board games with IPs were a lot worse.
They're doing better, and I feel like as long as if you go with really obscure IP, that's where it starts to get dangerous. Like you go the Knight Rider game, you've made your own bed.
I deserve everything I get.
This is it, right? But you know, like as much as DC and Marvel will license themselves to literally anything, I feel like they're safer options than some of the others out there.
Well, I mean, that's what I found because I saw the Master Universe Clash of Eternity, which you both got, yeah? Like, I wanted that. That was my 50th birthday present from my sister by request. It's like, it's cool. And it works. It's a really good game. We played it just recently, but the first time I played it, I was controlling and my mate was He-Man. And it could have been a generic war game of orcs and this and that, and it wouldn't have resonated as much with me. But when it got to the level 5 in the escalation of the game, my mate, and this is the first time we played it, so I've not seen this before, and he's like, can you please hand me the miniature with He-Man on Battle Cat, please? It's like, it escalated. It's like, oh, that's cool. You know, and that means more to me because of the IP, not because it wouldn't have worked with a non-IP game. Yeah. And I guess, things like Marvel and that, if you can get that theme right, and if you've got Daredevil feeling like Daredevil or that sort of thing, it just adds so much more because you've already got so much history in your head. I
was fundamentally worried about Marvel Zombies as an example. With Zombicide, without IP, great game. Like it is just by default a really, really good game. It is that level of simple enough, but enough like, and you can bring new people in. It's a good first one's free kind of option.
It's co-op.
That is another really juicy like piece. And it was when they like the Marvel one, I'm like, are they just going to change the models? Because that's not going to be enough. There's too much variety in these characters. And I really love the way that they actually have managed to keep it Zombicide, but different enough. But enough, like that was a balance I didn't think they were going to get right. And I reckon they've pretty close to nailed that. And then having the flip side of the zombie playing as the zombie characters.
Yep.
That was enough to go, yeah, okay, it would be worth owning Zombicide Season 2 and this. Because my default premise is I already have a Zombicide. I don't need another Zombicide, period. I don't care which one it is.
As opposed to me,
Yeah,
who
Uno.
has too many zombicides. Uno.
Because I've
Uno's
got Uno,
different.
but I've also got the Master Universe Uno,
Mm.
which is pretty cool because it's pretty much standard Uno, but there's one extra card. The Sword of Power is a card. And to play the Sword of Power, you have to hold it above your head, yell, "I have the power." You put it down, everyone draws 4. It's awesome.
That is cool. I do like Uno for that as well, because I do have a couple of Uno. I don't know if I have the Masters one or not, but I do have the Simpsons version, and there's a three-eyed draw 3 fish card. Right, just the little changes that they do. It's very cute. But
I will say, actually, on the Uno, just tangentially, I got given Uno No Mercy recently from somebody. Whew. That is a rough version of Uno to start playing. So the general concept is once you have over, I think it's 24 cards in your hand, you're out.
Oh, jeez. I mean, it's designed to be a prickly game.
It is exactly like that. So they've specified in the rules, and we know Uno has their questionable interpretations of their own rules. You can stack draw on draw, like that's in there, but they've got to draw 8. They've got to draw 10. That's just in.
Oh,
yeah,
I do love that post that post saying you cannot put a draw 2 on a draw 2 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And somebody going, well, what about a draw 4 on a draw 4? And Uno saying, no, you can't do that. And the guy going, well, you don't know how to play your game.
I think the response was that, thanks for the rules, Uno, but we'll take it from here.
I mean, we've done that a few times. Oh, what was I playing? I was actually, we played Master Universe wrong the last time I played, because it's been ages since we played it. And I was playing with the AI characters for some reason as a controller. So I had totally different powers that I shouldn't have had access to. And he wasn't giving me the power cubes every time he spent any. So I wasn't accumulating enough. So it actually, we somehow balanced the game. Even it was like, and it worked out okay. And sometimes, I mean, we'll never play that again. But sometimes you get those rules where you tweak it yourself going, this is actually quite bad. Not bad, but like there's a game called The Crew, which is a trick-taking game, a co-op trick-taking game. We were getting that wrong for the first couple of weeks. And we were actually making it harder on ourselves, but it was more of a challenge and we were doing okay. And then when we figured out the rules were real, it was like, oh, we're doing this wrong. It made it harder when it shouldn't have been. Like it's actually, we condensed it down to what it should be, but we trained ourselves well. But I mean, that is the beauty of some of these board games that I'm finding is what you find the joy in. And yeah, I mean, that is the hard thing. I'm buying a lot of IPs that I like. My mate, not so much. So if it's a good game, it's a good game. But sometimes it's that love of the IP that gets it over the line to be playable. And sometimes it's like you just don't have that resonance that makes you want to play it again.
But I think that's the great thing about board games is that house rules are totally a thing. And you can, play a game and go, okay, well, it was okay, but what if we do this time? And what if we just ignore that rule? Or what if we modify that rule this way? And nobody will bat an eyelid.
No. It's such a common thing. And it's even that piece around I feel like the way a lot of those happen is how does this work? Well, I don't want to go to the rule book. I kind of want to look things up. We're in the middle of a game. I'm not disrupted. So let's do this because that seems like a great idea. And then you read the rules later and you're like, oh no, we made this so much better.
And I mean, you guys host your tournaments and things like that. Do you have your game nights at your local game shops? I don't do that. Like we catch up once a week with my mate and we play a bunch of games a night. That's the way we go. We have gone to MeepleCon and played, but we sort of stay to ourselves. We have access to their library. We go to our table. We don't put the flag up to enjoy, come and join us.
Such an interesting piece, though, because, I mean, board games generally are a multiplayer extravaganza enjoyed by introverts.
Mhm.
And it's this really and again, MeepleCon as an example, it's like, yeah, I want to go, but I want to know who I'm playing with, because that's again part of the joy of it. Is it's this
Mhm.
I've curated an audience that I really enjoy this with. We all have similar interests. It's like,
Mhm.
I don't want the racist old guy in the corner to join in, and in
I
playing
must
Risk,
say,
stop invading Poland.
we were pleasantly surprised because we went to the first MeepleCon not knowing. We went for the
Mhm.
flea market, to be honest. That's the
Mhm.
reason we went.
Mhm.
And it's like, if we stick around, we stick around. And we end up spending the next 7 hours there because you just looked at the library and the shelves going, let's try this. I've heard good things about it. Let's try this. And it was great. But
Mhm.
as far as the people go, they were excellent. No one hassled us. So like no
Yeah.
one,
Yeah.
someone might have come, oh, what are you playing? More, I went to BunnyCon a couple of weeks ago and I took my own Clash of Eternia went and,
Mhm.
a lot of people
Mhm.
haven't seen it. So they're all like, coming and having a look and everything. But it was nothing unpleasant.
No, no,
It
no.
wasn't
Mhm.
ridiculous. And it was like, they seem like a really good bunch of people. Like I've been to sci-fi cons for the last, 30 years. You are getting a broad spectrum of society and all this sort of stuff. And from what I've seen in the 2 years of board gaming stuff that I've done, they all seem like really, really nice people.
It's generally, particularly, I mean, I feel like yes, but but it is that piece around. I feel like the stigma around board games is changing as well. It's that same concept around once upon a time it was just getting stuffed in your locker at lunchtime or playing D&D. They were my options. So which is more fun? Whereas now it is that it's more acceptable socially. It's more something that you hear people that you wouldn't expect, but it is still a piece that all members of society sometimes enjoy, and then we bring them together in these big things. And it's like, but it's like anything like that, right? You pull a group of people together, there'll be people, but generally we're all here for the same reason. We're all here for the same thing. We're all here because we like a thing. We have a common interest as a default. But yeah, a lot of people, it's just a lot to take in. A lot of
Yeah, I get that with, for example, I can go to a Blood Bowl tournament, play people that I've never met or people I have met once or twice and have a game because we all know what we're there for. With a board game, I want to sit down with friends.
Mm.
I have no interest in learning someone new while I'm playing a game, if that makes sense.
and also often two parts. Often I'm going to one of these because I'm learning new games, and that is a lot more comfortable when I'm comfortable with the people. I can sit in the uncomfortable moment of I don't know what the fuck I'm doing because I've got this comfort around me. So I think that is part of it as well. Because I'm terrible at fucking learning rules like that.
Oh, if it wasn't for YouTube, I wouldn't ever learn a game. I just
And
look at a
this
rule
is
book going, nope.
I'm not doing
See-
it, right? But I'll jump on YouTube and all right, teach me how to play. Please, Mr. Will Wheaton, show me what I'm doing.
Mhm.
He's great at that.
Well, that's the beauty of like MeepleCon is they have witches hats with flags on it. So there's one with the green, one with the red. The green is we want players, and the red is please teach me this game. And the fact is they are generally nice enough people that I will teach you this game because I'm not going to learn Twilight Imperium. I don't even know if I want to play it, but that's I've because with
It
Marketplace I
looks
bought a lot
impressive.
of bargains. It does look amazing, but I've bought Star Wars. Is it Outer Rim? It's a
Yep.
big 2-player
Yep.
game.
Mm-hmm.
And I bought it off a guy. He was close to work. So at lunchtime, I handed over my money and he goes, don't look at the side of the box. It's a 12-hour game on Learn. It's like, okay, thank you. And it's like, and that's the beauty of the con as well, because we got a lot of longer games in because we allowed ourselves that time that we're going to play a longer game. But to learn a game that's that long is just like,
Yes.
it's a commitment. And I want to do it because it's meant to be rewarding. But that's when I kind of wanted to know someone who knows the game. Well, I'll teach you this. Here you go.
So that's the thing.
Absolutely.
I could go to one of those conventions and I could sit down I reckon I could sit down at a table with 4 or 5 other people that I didn't know. If there's the game developer or whatever teaching us all the game,
That's a different ball,
yeah.
right?
if I'm sitting down at a table and some people, are experts and other people are learning and stuff like that, I just give me my comfort zone. Yeah. Let it be
It is
with
that
people
piece
I know.
around. I don't know what the expectations of the other people are. Are they here
Yes.
because they play this super serious? Is this their game? Is their one thing, and they're gonna because
I'm
games are
bringing
often
an
more
apple core.
fun. And ultimately, games are more fun when you have people wanting the same thing out of it, right?
Yes.
If I just want to win and you're just there to core apples, like that's a different world. And nobody's having a good time. And I think so that's probably the other tricky bit with these pieces. And the good thing about things like MeepleCon where they have got the flags, we can go, we're learning this game. We're all here to learn together. Let's put the old plates on, let's go through it. But also because, around the house rules, and it is one of those things that is so just ubiquitous, it is acceptable with board games as well. I think that there's this piece around, I no longer know whether the rules I'm playing are the rules or whether they are some weird mutation of. And so I'm going to go somewhere. I'm going to go somewhere and I'm going to go to play the game just thinking this is how it's played. It's not how it's played. And someone's going to go, that's not how you do it. And pull out the rule book. I'm like, oh shit, I've done this wrong my entire life. But stop taking away from my fun because I'm putting down this draw 4 on the draw 4. So that's the other piece where I'm probably not confident enough in my own ability to go, no, I actually know the rules because I don't, because it's more fun my way.
That was the whole purpose of this podcast in the first place, was to play games and
Badly.
fuck up the rules. And
that's fundamentally,
yeah, basically go, we're playing this for the first time ever and this is how we played it. And
we haven't done that in a while. We should try that.
No. Oh, perfect.
No, you're right.
This thing's, transformed into some hideous social beast monster. It's not the two of us playing.
You just wanted an OnlyFans, didn't you?
The OnlyFans. It was so much fucking work for the stupid joke. The amount of effort that I had to go through, the hoops I had to jump through to get a fucking OnlyFans for this podcast.
And then we finally got it and you gave it up.
I had to keep posting on it and I couldn't be asked. Especially when we had one follower.
That's what you were supposed to post on there.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was doing wrong, was the fact that I wasn't being asked. Yeah, no. I'm glad I did it, but fucking hell, I'm not doing it again. Oh dear.
You're more fansly now. What?
we should re-kick off that sponsorship with Smith My Balls too.
We should. We haven't. You haven't heard from them for a while, have you?
No.
We'll put it out there. Manscaped.
Now, when you do introduce games, I'm finding I'm sort of losing on purpose a bit now because I love it so much. I want it to be that shared experience. I want you to enjoy it too. I'm going to teach you this thing and say, oh, you did really well, and just sort of like do all this sort of stuff and prolong the game sometimes because it's like, I'm having too much fun here. Yeah. I'm going to lose. I don't care.
That is absolutely the correct way of doing it. That being said, I'm not doing that at the moment in Blood Bowl, am I?
So I'm doing it for you.
Yeah, I don't know if you're intending on doing it, but I try. To the idea of teaching somebody a game is to sit there and say, here's what it is. Here's how you play. Let's have a bit of fun. And I'm not going to go hard, and I don't go hard, but we've all, I think, had that experience. I still remember a 40k game that I played. It was a group game, and it was 6 of us, and one guy hadn't played. He had all the models, but he hadn't played, so he'd gone to a GW the week before and played against the regular there. And in the middle of our game, he said, I really wish that my Rhino could do this. And we all just looked at him and went, that's what it's for. What else are you doing with it? He goes, oh, but this guy at the shop said I couldn't. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. You know, you're supposed, if you're teaching somebody a game, ideally, the best result you get out of that is somebody else to play with.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't do that by fucking making up rules and win at all costs.
I mean, that's why we don't learn in GW stores. Like, let's just draw that as a separate
Okay,
beast,
yes,
right? But I feel like what I'm doing when I'm teaching someone a game is, sure, I'm trying to show them the mechanics of the game and how it works so they could potentially play it without me next time. But what I'm actually really trying to do is explain to them and show them why I love the game that I'm demonstrating and why I'm putting the time and effort into this. And I don't do that by just winning. That's not why I love it. I love it for so many reasons. So if I just win and go, and I'm good at the game, so that's why I like it.
Yeah.
Whereas, and this is why we get so many people, like Blood Bowl specifically, take the easy option here for an example. There is so many terrible decisions you can make that are wildly funny and worth doing. Like, you could just take the ball here and walk it over there and get a touchdown, and that's a point, and that's good. Or you could stand your troll up and then hopefully not eat the goblin holding the ball and hurl him at somebody else. And, you know, there's all this chaos that you can do, and that is the joy of the game. And it's trying to balance that. I'm showing you how the game works. I'm trying to give you a bit of an insight on how you might want to play in future. But actually, this is why this is how I get joy out of it. And that's the bit I'm trying to kind of impart as well.
Mm-hmm.
And losing is often the best way, because I ran Malifaux demos at PAX for a couple of years, and I reckon I lost every single one of those demos. And the amount of people that came up to me like the next year, I went, "Oh, I did a demo with you last year. I beat you." Like, yes, you did, son. Good on you. So did everybody else that weekend, but it's only you. Like, that was a thing, and that was cool, and they were excited about coming back and doing it again. And then they beat me a second time. They must be a natural.
It is also you, though.
I mean, absolutely. I was trying really hard.
I think my issue this season is that too many games that I've been playing, and I've been playing with people who played a few games and people who hadn't, and I'm showing them, this is how you play your team, and this is how my team works, and blah blah blah. And then I'll get to the end and I'll be like, "Oh, my guy can score here. I wasn't really intending on that, but I kind of feel like because he can, I need to show you that that's what you do to win." I don't know. I have been thinking about playing Snotlings next season.
They're very good.
Don't say that.
No, they're very good. I mean, I just got pitch cleared by goblins, though, so I can't really.
No, fair call. Mitch.
That's right. I was saying, because I was playing Master Universe, and I could have taken my mate out. And it's like, yeah, but then it'll end. I don't want that. So I tried to take him out with my hover robots. Just like, can I do it? Can I do it with the minions? Can I do it this way? And it was much more fun. I didn't win, but at least I tried. And that's all that mattered. And but with my kids, I'm trying to teach my kids games now. And I want them to feel the joy too. So it's like, what do I introduce? And some they're just not interested. So it's got to be those real kinetic games. Like King of Tokyo is great. I mean, I love the feel of those chunky dice and the throwing them, and you're out. That's 2 damage to you, back and forth. That's a lot of fun. So they're getting into some obscure games. Taught them poker this week.
No,
not a good thing, maybe. It's like, I went and got poker chips. It's like, we're doing betting now. Okay. So
it might be the only way you get to retire.
Yeah. But I did do the whole, my son was winning for a while and he had most of the chips, and then I just had a very strong hand. So I was like, I'm going to draw the chips out of you. Just kept upping the bid, and he kept going. And it's like, thank you very much. You'll learn a lesson gambling, you lose.
But I feel like there is a moral risk, like Mario Kart as an example there. Like, you are going to have to win on your own merit, kid. Like, Nah,
And there's also a degree, especially this sort of age, like
they get
we
mouthy.
my daughter and my son and I play games every now and then, and my son has gotten into this real bad habit of being a bad loser and not being able to take it well. And the way that I am teaching him not to be a bad loser
Practice.
is by trying to beat the crap out of him and make him lose more. Sometimes it doesn't work and he still fucking wins anyway. But, I'm trying to teach him that it is not about winning. None of these games are about winning. It is all about how much fun you're having and spending some time with some quality people.
Yeah.
And equally, I feel like the other half of this, and this is kind of where the poker, like sometimes they start getting a little bit, it's that piece around, oh, I'm beating dad. Oh, dad, guess what? You're losing. And I'm like, all right, you don't want to get mouthy here. Like we're playing nice right now. Don't start being a sore winner as well, because I'm going to teach you how bad that is.
Yeah. No, it's keeping them at that nice neutral level. Oh, you're winning. Okay, I've got checkmate in 2 moves. So, all right. IPs. What have been your favorite games that you've picked up?
Definitely Master Universe was one. I do like Comic Hunters. Have you heard of that?
No.
It's a deck building game. It's Marvel licensed. It was a Brazilian game, and it's just been released last year. And it's a card drafting game.
Yep.
But all the cards are comic covers, actual Marvel comic covers from Silver Age, Bronze Age, and Modern Age. And it's essentially 3 rounds of 4 potential different drafting options. So they're themed as in you're going to a comic shop to buy comics, you're going online to buy them off eBay, and it's just different drafting ways to draft a card. And then you've got you're going to a swap meet, and then you're going to a convention. So they're the 4 different times over 3 different things. And basically you randomly pull out a hot comic of the time. So it might be Doctor Strange, might be Spider-Man that time. So there's covers of Spider-Man comics, there's Iron Man, there's this and that. So they randomly change each time. So you're drafting these things and you're putting sets together, and they all get worth value points at the end. Some are first appearance, they're worth more. Sometimes it's a combo or whatever. And because being a Marvel guy, it's all about the thing. It could have been random anything, but the fact that they're actual comics are actual thing. People apparently are playing it with real comics, like actual comics, and doing it that way for a bit of fun. But yeah, it's, for me, being a comic collector, it's perfect. It's just like, this is a lot of fun. It's quick enough to do. I really enjoyed that. I played Marvel United with You, which was enough to make me buy, I'm just looking to my side, I've got 7 versions of it now.
Catch up.
Oh, Marvel Legendary. That was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. But yeah, the Invincible game I've bought, but I haven't played yet. But that's meant to be excellent. So I'm looking forward to it. I just know it's going to be really good. I just know it. But Marvel Remix was actually the surprise that I really love, which is Fantasy Realms. If you've played that or know of that, it's a card drafting game again, where you're building a deck of cards, a hand of cards. So you're drawing a card, getting rid of a card. Now, either you draw it from the top or you can draw it from the middle. And as soon as there's 10 cards in the middle, that's it. And you score up your cards, but they combine with each other. So if you've got this and this one together, it maximizes points. But if you've got this there, then it loses points. So you're doing your best to put the best hand possible. And so Fantasy Realms is just generic fantasy theme, where the Marvel Remix is obviously Marvel characters. So if you've got Thor and Jane Foster and this, they work together better. But, and you got this. So if you've got the Avengers Mansion, but if you've got, Doctor Doom, you need to do something to offset that. Otherwise, you get negative points. And for me, the theme works really well. My mate, not so much. He likes Fantasy Realms. I like the Marvel Remix. But yeah, it's just a lot of fun because you're sort of putting a storyline together when you've got these 3 heroes versus this guy at this situation. And there you go. And there's my points. And we figure it out at the end. It's like, yeah, what have I got? Oh, 87. Fuck you. And it's like, cool. But yeah, it's sort of like, but they would probably be the main ones. I mean, as much as I'm a DC person, Marvel seem to have more of the credible games at this point, anyway.
Mm.
They've certainly
So,
given the name out more, I think, than DC. But Marvel,
I think Disney know how to market.
yes, they certainly do. I've got so many bloody IP games that I haven't played yet.
That is the danger, though. Like that's
Yeah.
It is both the fact that all of these take time to learn and then time to play, and you need to find other people to do that with, and the fact I need to find somewhere to put the damn things.
Like I've still got, I've got the Boys board game. That was a Kickstarter. Dark Knight Returns. It's a solo Batman game, but I still haven't played it because I can't find anyone to play it with. I don't know. I don't know why I haven't made the time for that one. And I've got, there's a Borderlands game, which is, far out. I've forgotten his name. Guy that looks like Randy Savage. Come on, you're a Borderlands player, Mitch. He's always talking really loud. Talk?
Oh.
Is it Talk? No.
Oh, Talk's a brand.
Talk's a brand, but that's going to frustrate me now. And it's just over there, and I can't see it. Anyway, I've got that, and I haven't played it. But yeah, it's too many games I haven't played. I need to.
Well, that's the thing. I've got the Mass Effect game here, which is like still in plastic. I've got the Escape from New York because I've got a Kurt Russell fetish. That's still in plastic. I just keep buying these games. I've found the legendary Encounters or whatever, Big Trouble in Little China. Finding someone to play it.
Yep.
Yeah. It's like, well, I've got the Alien and the Predator.
Yep, I've got the Alien and Predator ones as well.
I've got those. Then there's PvP or versus system. There's an Alien and a Predator that I bought those. Still in plastic. Because I just, like I said, I have a problem.
We have a break coming up between Blood Bowl seasons. We should try and get some more board games out.
I'm up for that.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yes, but I also discovered the apps, I suppose, because I found Hiroshima Hex. I really like the idea of the game. I found a copy of it. Couldn't get anyone to play it. Found out there's an app. Played the app. Don't want to touch the game ever again. Like, I don't want to touch a board game again because it's
so the app
it's really good.
Game?
They do all the admin for you.
Exactly. And it's sort of like, and they don't get the rules wrong. So you can't house rule. That's the only thing you can't do. But it's sort of like, that's so much easier because it's there and you can play it solo because you play against the computer. And it's like, So, yeah, a game that I would say is probably one of my favorite games is a game that I've played once physically and probably never will again.
That's interesting. So Hero Quest, when they brought that back out, they released an app for it, and it's because you can play, you have up to 4 players on one side and one person controlling all the bad guys, but you can use the app for the bad guys, so you can play it, solo or just a couple of guys co-oping against the app, and the app is really good. Put a lot of effort into it.
Now they've got a tool like that you can do an app because everybody has a phone, right? It's not even a question around whether that's something that you need. It's not like I'm going to bring out Nightmare and I need you to have a VHS player. It's guaranteed. You've got a phone. It's fine. You can do that, and it just can make such a more immersive experience. B, pull out some of the admin. C, you don't have to learn the rules. It shows you what to do and when to do them. There's just so many. And as much as I want to say it takes away from that, I don't want to sit and play a game with somebody and be looking at my phone the whole time. That's not the point of it. But actually, if it can add to the game, it's a fine line. But
incidentally, how much are VHS players these days? I've been thinking maybe I need one. I don't know. I don't know if I want to look up how much they are.
Actually, there is one more IP game that I do love with the family, and that is 5 Minute Marvel, which is based on 5 Minute Dungeon. And it's app-based, so you need an app. And what you do is you the rules are so loose. It doesn't even say dish out this many cards. It's like split them evenly-ish around the plate. So you've got 4, just sort of make sure it's even. And you choose your character, and you get some special cards, then you've got generic cards. Then you've got a boss you've got to beat in the middle, but you've got all these cards you've got to beat. So you've got cards with either a speed, punch, science, magic symbol, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So you flip a card, and it might be 1 pink symbol to beat it. So who's got it, right? So you just throw cards at the task at hand. And when you beat it, you flip it over for the next one. You start the app, you've got a countdown. Jarvis talks to you, you've got 5 minutes. And music plays, and you're beating it, and then you'll get, every now and then a card's harder than the others, some are easier, and you're throwing cards more than you need sometimes because you run out. And it's like, oh shit, what are you doing? And then you run out, and what do you do? And some have got certain powers. So when you've got a Iron Man, you can do this thing. Once you use it, you turn it over. Captain America's great because he can bring people back if they're out. So all these different times, you can use different cards and everything like that, or reset, drop your cards, grab another 3. But if you run out, you run out. And when that clock gets to a minute, the music ramps up, it counts down, it gets tense, you're nearly there, you're trying to get to the end, you're doing more, and you get to the red skull at the end, so it's a harder one, you need to throw all these cards at it. It's awesome.
I love a game like that with a level of frantic panic decision making. Just like that is definitely a piece where you're like, all right, we're not here to play serious, we're not here, but it just goes, go, just, and there's even really kind of old school games that read like Billionaire as an example of that, where it is trading, but it is just freeform. Everybody goes at once, and you just have to deal with the whatever result comes in the chaos. They are such fun ones to throw into, A, for introducing kids, friends and stuff, or B, party game. Like, we've had a couple of drinks, let's get wild.
Yep.
That is ideal.
Happy Salmon is the one for me. I got shown this at a board game night, and it was like, we're just going to play this, and some of us don't know each other. Let's play Happy. Have you heard of Happy Salmon, Mitch?
No.
Fucking hilarious, and the kids love it. Basically, you've got a set amount of cards each, and they're all like colored, so you can be the orange ones, you can be the purple ones, whatever. You shuffle them up, and you flip over the top one, and it'll have a picture on it. It'll be like high five, or turn around, or Happy Salmon, which is doing this, right? So everyone turns over a card, and you've got to find another person with that card and do that thing with them, and then you can both throw your card down on the ground, flip over the next one, and try to do that. And it's the first one to run out of cards. It's fucking hilarious because you got high five, Happy Salmon. It's just, the kids love it. It was one of those ones that was just shown to me. I'm like, this is $15 I need to spend.
Well, that's
very
if you're
simple.
looking at cheap games. Yeah, Pass the Panda is great with the kids. We actually take it to when we go to restaurants and stuff now. So it's like when the kids are bored or something, you get this game. It's a dice chucker. You got a dice. You either got a panda, a water, or a bamboo. And you either eliminate dice from your hand, you move someone to another person. So there's that, screw you moments in the game. It looks nice and cute, but there's that little bit of fun. And you can just like, oh, who are we going to give it to? It's like, oh, Mum's got no dice there. You want to give them to her. Don't give them to me. It's like, oh, yeah, go here. And it's a lot of fun. And we've gone out, and we've got nephews who are like 20 years old, and they play. They join in when we're out for dinner. It's like, come on, let's do this. And you're chucking dice around the table. And that's so much more fun. But Six Nimmt, if you want a cheap game with a bunch of people, Six Nimmt, Nimmt. It's deck of 100 cards. You dish out, I think it's 10 to each player, and you can play up to like 10 people. And you put 4 cards out, and you got to put a card the next highest up on this column. So you got a column of cards, and you put a card, and you put it the next highest up.
Yep.
If it's the 6th card out, you take all that row and leave the one you just put down now, and you don't want cards in your hand. But everyone chooses a card, puts it, and shows it at the same time. So it gets put out lowest to highest, and if you're the 6th card, you take it. And the dilemma when those rows fill up, and you're just putting a card out going, oh, I hope it goes before I get there and all this. It's so amazing. Like, you're just there. And the swearing, a lot of swearing. But
I mean, that's half the fun.
It's like a $15 game, but you can get up to 10 people playing it, and it's that awesome. There's no co-op in this one. It's literally
The other one I really enjoy, and it is divisive. I've brought it out at a couple of times where I'm like, this is an easy game to learn. It'll be fine. I'll bring it out with family and stuff like that. Is Flux, any IP version of Flux, and people either love it or absolutely hate it. Because this whole concept of you come out and they're like, what are the rules? I'm like, well, you
don't know
draw a card, play a card. What do you mean? I mean, they're the rules. That's what you do. I'm like, what the actual hell do you mean? How do I win the game? What's going on here? Like, there are some process-driven humans in my family that cannot cope with that as a concept at all. But okay, I feel like that is one that you can throw it with everybody, and it just adds a level of chaos that I really appreciate.
All right. Shall we start wrapping things up?
Yeah, we should do that. It's late.
Right.
We should go to work and things.
Do we want to do a soundbite here? All right. I've got one, if that's cool.
Yeah, go.
Thought of it on the fly. So we've been talking board games. So I'm going to pose it to you guys. This or that. Co-op games or head-to-head? Crickets.
Co-op. I mean, it depends on who you're playing with, but I do enjoy a good co-op.
Yeah, it depends whether A, I can beat them, and B, I like them. But co-op games are... I generally find A, they're easier to get people into. B, it creates less of a chance of divorce. And as long as it's not the co-op game where one person goes, you do this, and then you do this, and then like one person plays 5 people effectively. As long as you don't have that person, they are fundamentally more fun. Like when it's a co-op game, but 5 people playing their game.
Yep.
And that is the fun of it.
Yeah, I think we're all united here because, for me, co-op games are they're less stress on my brain because I'm not.
Yeah, well, I like co-op because it's, if you've got that central goal, you're all working together towards.
Yes.
That's great. You're having a shared experience, and that's good. Versus or head-to-head, if it's a game where it's literally head-to-head, and I assume Blood Bowl would be that, where you are just doing, where you've got something like a Eurogamer where you're tending fields and this and that. Who can tend fields better? It's not combative. It's versus, but it's not combative. So I if it was versus, yes, I do like, but it's head to head. It's like, no, I'm going to destroy you, and that is what we're going to do, and that is the goal of the game. So you can't get angry because this is what we're here for. Where if you're, oh no, you stole my grapes, I can't make the wine I want to do now. That's not the same sort of versus sort of thing. Where no, I'm going to eat, like you said, I'm going to eat you and throw you over there. That's much more fun in the combative sense.
It sets the ground rules a lot easier because I do know people who will play those kind of games, like those kind of Euro games. They're like, I'm going to do my thing over here and you're going to do your thing over there. We won't interact. And then whoever has the most wine at the end wins. Like, fundamentally, half of this game is I need to be upsetting your plans to put my head. Like, that's... But there seems to be a more obscure social convention depending on who you're playing with. And I don't like that obscurity because I'm not here to create conflict. I'm here to either destroy you and win all the wine or whatever we're doing together. And I feel like both of those other extremes give you that clarity.
Have any of you guys played, I think it's Dead of Winter?
Oh, I have, but it was so long ago.
It's one of those games, and I'm kind of intrigued by the idea. These games that are co-op games, and yet someone has an ulterior motive and can win and beat all the other players.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't know who that is unless you're.
Well, you've played Battlestar Galactica, I assume.
I have played Battlestar. Battlestar was it's one of those. I wish I still owned Battlestar. I really regret selling that off. But yeah, those sort of games, I think they're really intriguing. And no, I don't need Battlestar again. I don't need to spend money. Oh dear.
Not cheap.
Why are you on your phone? What? Get off Facebook Marketplace.
No.
What are you...
Facebook Marketplace. I'm not going to get it cheap there. I can tell you that much.
You're not getting it cheap.
No, that's true. I'll just give up on that. I've got my little Battlestar spaceship game I can play if I want to. All right. That'll do us. Thank you very much, Mitch.
Thank you for having me on. This has been great.
Oh, it's been a pleasure. Been an absolute pleasure. I love the tangents. We've just gone in all directions tonight. It's like a vomiting shotgun going everywhere.
No, you said it to Hall.
Oh, you paint a pity picture.
Oh dear. Give us a follow: Facebook, Spotify, Podbean, Twitch. Not on OnlyFans because have given up. And yeah, as always, thank you very much to our Patreons. They are the ones that help us do our giveaways and stuff like that. We just finished a giveaway for the Night Cage, which I will be drawing sometime this weekend to all those entries. But all our patrons really, really appreciate that because you guys help us give back to the community. As always, thank you very much to our Thoughtless Patreons: Alice, Archie, Clinton, Craig, Gertzy, Jared, Kingsley, and Yuri. He's back. And again, thank you very much, Mitch. It's been a real pleasure.
Thank you. I've enjoyed myself.
Later.
Catch ya.
Bye.